put that thing in sports. Shot it bad, pop a. You a dork, never been a sport.
What's up, you guys? It's Skinny Bean. I am back for another video. Now, this is a different type of video. This is my first ever review on this channel to 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. So let's just get right into it. So this is season 3, episode 7, Not Off the Hook. Just so to let y'all know, I will not be talking about Russ and Pal because they are boring and I just want them off the show. So don't expect me to talk about Russ and Pal. Alright, so let's talk about Molly and Louisa. Louisa is gone out the house and Molly feels really good that she has her house back. She goes to Olivia's room and she really misses Olivia, so she calls Olivia, and Olivia is driving back to her boyfriend's house. And Molly tells Olivia that Louisa's gone and if she wants to come home and talk, she can. And Olivia's like, oh, okay, why don't we grab lunch during the week or something? And Molly says that she loves her, and Olivia's just like, okay, bye. And Molly, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, the damage is done. You choosing a man over your kids. Like, what do you expect that a 27-year-old boy would become stepdad in 2 months? What do you expect? Like, you and Nicole are so much alike because you're choosing your selfish needs over your children. So Molly goes to see the immigration lawyer, and pretty much she's on the hook for 10 years. She signed the affidavit of support, so she pretty much has to take care of Louisa for 10 years. So if he gets hurt, goes to the hospital, get Medicaid, she has to pay for that. And it's like, we all knew that. You should have known that, Molly. So that's all I gotta say about them. So let's talk about George and Anfisa. So George is going to the counselor to get his session. Last week you saw Anfisa get her counseling session. Now it's time for George to get his one-on-one counseling session. So the counselor asked, like, what are the qualities that you love about Anfisa? And he was just like, her honesty. And so the counselor was like, well, that's kind of interesting because that's what she wants from you. So then the counselor asked George, what is going to make Anfisa happy? What is going to make the relationship better? And this dude gonna say, more money. More money is going to make the relationship better? George, you are a complete loser. See, this guy is so manipulative. See, he's just like David. They are both manipulative. George just wants a trophy wife, and David just wants somebody to take care of him. And so the counselor even mentioned, even wealthy people, they break up because of lying and cheating. And then George gonna say, well, if they give me their money, then that will make me happy. I swear. Anfisa, you're better off on your own. You can make your own money. Actually, you have your YouTube channel, so you're pretty much making your own money. So congratulations to you are hitting that 100K. So kudos to you, girl. You doing your own thing. So then the counselor asked, like, what's more important, stability or money? He's just like, I'm gonna go with money. I'm just gonna say it again. This dude is a loser. I knew the counseling session wasn't gonna help him. So he gets home, and Anfisa, she pretty much knew that the counseling session wasn't gonna do anything to him because nothing can get through to George. So Anfisa asked, like, how did the counseling session went? And he pretty much talked about how money can help with the relationship. So Anfisa was like, so money's gonna fix the problem with your family? And she already knew that the counseling session didn't do anything. So then later on at the end of the episode, she gets a Facebook message from George's ex saying that he has a 10-year-old daughter. And she said if this finds out to be his kid, she won't have anything to do with George ever again. So let's get to David and Annie. David and Annie, they go out grocery shopping because David's sister's in town and Annie could cook some dinner. So after the grocery shopping, they went over to Nancy's house. I think it's an Airbnb. And oh my gosh, Nancy and David, they are so much alike. Like, feature-wise, they look so much alike. After Annie cooks dinner, Nancy asks Annie like how she likes Kentucky, and Annie explained to Nancy that she doesn't have a job yet, and David doesn't have a job yet either. And Nancy was like, well, you've been here for 6 months, like what's going on? And David said, well, I've been gone for 4 years, so it's not that easy. And so Annie was like, why don't you start off with a little job and then work your way up? Which I definitely agree with her. Why don't you just go to McDonald's? Because they are always hiring. McDonald's is always hiring. You could just flip burgers and get some sort of income and then work your way up to help pay rent and the dowry. But David does not want to do that. He is so freaking lazy. So David said, it's not that easy. And Nancy was like, well, it is that easy. You find something and you do it. But David doesn't see that. So Nancy was like, well, what are you gonna do? And David pretty much asked Nancy for money. And Nancy was like, you brought me all the way down here just to ask me for money? No, I'm not doing that, because that's just gonna enable you for a month. And I'm glad that Nancy said no, because you are a 49-year-old man. You need to put your grown man panties on and start working instead of sitting on your butt. So Nancy, Annie, and David, they went to a restaurant to meet up with Ashley for dinner. And Nancy hasn't seen Ashley in a long time. And Nancy told Annie how she would watch over the kids when David was gone. And Annie asked Nancy, well, if I have kids, will you help me? And Nancy was like, what? And dude, Nancy and Ashley, they were shocked. And Ashley was like, well, who you having kids by? Because it's not Dad. And so Nancy was like, you know he had a vasectomy, right? And he said, yeah, I know, but he promised my family that he will give me children. And so David said that he talked about getting a reversal vasectomy. Yeah, reversal vasectomy. And that costs, I'm pretty sure that costs like maybe thousands of dollars, which he doesn't have the money for. So Nancy was like, you just got done asking me for money. How you gonna support a child? And honestly, he should not have any more kids, because he didn't take care of the 3 kids that he had. And that's the thing. David, you weren't there for your kids. You weren't even there for Jacob, and that's your only son. A father is supposed to teach their son how to be a man. And David, you did not do that. Now that I think about it, how can David teach Jacob how to be a man? He's not even a man himself. He can't even take care of his 25-year-old wife. Annie gets really upset and she storms off. Ashley goes outside to check on her, which I'm really glad that she did that, because they haven't had a good bond ever since the beginning. So I'm really glad Ashley did that. So Ashley was able to bring Annie back at the restaurant. And I'm so proud of Ashley for at least going in to check on her. Let's get into Pedro and Chantal. So Pedro takes his sister out. I think her name is Nicole. Yeah, I think it's Nicole. So Pedro takes his sister out after the whole debacle with Chantal. And Pedro pretty much said that Chantal is out of line. And I'm kind of looking at Pedro kind of sideways, because you are married to Chantal. It doesn't matter if it's your family members, if it's your friends, you are married to Chantal. You are supposed to defend your wife. I even talked to my parents, like when they first got married, it was not easy getting along with their in-laws, but they were able to work it out. And my parents been married for 20, it'll be 28 years next month. So they have been married for a long time. My grandma, my dad's mom, would come by the house without asking, and she would get into it with my mom. And so my dad called my grandma, was like, how dare you talk to my wife like that? She is my wife and you need to respect her. That's how a man's supposed to defend his wife. And Pedro is not doing that. I don't know if it's the culture difference, but at this point, you just need to be with your family. That's it. You need to be with your family. So then Chantal comes home and the tension is very thick. Like you can cut it with the knife. So Chantal asks Pedro to come outside so they can talk. And Pedro, he's holding on to the door like, are you done with this conversation? At this point, I'm like, Chantal, you just need to cut him off completely. She goes to her family's house and she tells her family about Pedro and his sister and how Pedro is gonna sleep in a hotel with his sister. And that's the problem, Chantal. You do not want your family getting involved, but you're telling them what's going on. You're telling them your business. So of course they're going to get upset. So the mom was like, okay, hold this. She's taking her rings off, her earrings off. And so the dad was like, we don't know if that this girl's her sister. We don't know. So they trying to really hire the investigator. And of course, River wants to put his 2 cents in, said, I told y'all. But you know what? We'll see if he has something to say comes to next week's episode. So last but not least, the most talked about couple, naive Nicole and anonymous Azan. Nicole and May are in Morocco with Anonymous. So Nicole wants to ask Anonymous about what happened at the interview. She wants to know more information. So Anonymous pretty much said that the guy asked more about his previous relationship. According to Anonymous, he said that the guy at the embassy asked about his previous relationship with a girl from Belarus. And so the guy feels, at the embassy, the guy feels that Anonymous wants to leave Morocco to go to Belarus, and he doesn't believe that he is in a relationship with Nicole, and he wants to do the same thing, leave Morocco just to go to America. And kudos to the guy at the embassy because he is so manipulative. He manipulates this girl who's completely gullible, who has low self-esteem, and us viewers, we see it, but she doesn't see it. And that's the problem. And she doesn't even care. They are heading to the airport to meet up with Robert Lee, and Anonymous is sweating like a bullet. He is nervous. And I'm like, you should be nervous. You might get away with this BS on Nicole, but you cannot get away with this BS on Robert Lee. So Robert Lee sees Nicole. She gives Nicole a hug, and Meg, she is wanting her grandma, and that's just sad. It's like, Nicole, I said this before and I will say it again. You are completely selfish. You putting your own selfish needs over your child. Robert Lee, she just got right to it. She asked some of the hard questions like, what are you gonna do for money? Neither one of y'all have a job, and Nicole's running low on savings. Like, what are you gonna do for money? And Nicole tried to shut that down quick. Like, why are you talking about money? Let me do her voice. Why are you talking about money? Why does it always have to be about money? I'm like, girl, are you serious? You are a spoiled little brat. I do not like the way she talks to her mom. If I talk to my mom like that, my mom would snatch my head off. Like, she really would. She would really snatch my head off. At this point, Nicole, she's just not gonna listen. So according to her, she's really excited about the wedding, and you just cannot get through to Nicole. And honestly, I blame her parents because they have been enabling her all her life. It's like, if your little brother have more sense than you, then that's a problem. But, whew, girl. Every time Nicole is on my TV, she just makes my blood pressure go up, and I am too young to have hypertension. Well, that was my first ever review on 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later. Bye.